Hello guys, Tarantula90 here again, and welcome back to part 2 of my very special 100 subscriber episode showing my pickups for my trip to Retro Games HQ in Swindon. It's definitely safe to say that, it's, again, I've said it before, it's an amazing place, you've got to check it out. So today I'm going to show my pickups as well as which console I decided to pick up. So, as usual, as you've seen, if you've watched part 1, Retro Games HQ in Swindon is an amazing place. Some place you have to visit if you're a retro gamer. Like I said, I always learn something new every time I go. There's always great banter. And as usual, there's always great stock. Thank you, Pete. So, with that in mind, I'm going to start showing you my pickups. So, first thing I'm going to do is go the non-gaming side, which is only a couple of things. So, if you've been to HMV, you've seen these Pokemon sparkling water cans. I think they're the same thing. I'm pretty sure they are. And Pete now sells them in the shop, which I find cool. Apparently, some guy was in talking about it. I think this is how the story is. Anyway, some guy was talking about it, and he got Pete in touch with a supplier, and now he started to get them in the shop. So I got the apple flavour Bulbasaur edition. And I also got the Charmander Orange edition. So, yeah, I'm going to open this one and we'll give it a go. He says he can't open the can. We're in danger. You can't open the can. Okay, right. I'm going to open the can and then I'll get back to you. Okay, so change of plan. We managed to open up the Apple one instead. We tried the orange one, it failed. But we opened the Apple one, so we're going to give it a try. Yeah, it's not bad, I do like it. It's nice, it's quite refreshing. I mean, I'm not really a big fan of sparkling water. I don't really drink it that much. I think the only ever time I ever tried sparkling water was probably easily a decade plus ago. So this is quite nice. So, moving on to the gaming pickups. As I said, there was only a couple. There was just those. So, ironically, I didn't actually pick up a lot in this trip. I think because I was so focused on which console to get, I wasn't exactly 100% convinced. Well, I didn't really know 100% if there was anything else that I really wanted to get at the time. So, apart from one thing, which I suppose leads into choosing to show that one first, and that is the Sega Mega Drive 8-button arcade wireless pad that I got. So I really need to get this because last time I went to Swindon, Pete tried to sell me this because I was trying to get a Mega Drive control pad anyway. But I wanted the Model 2 one because I have a Model 2 Mega Drive. So I asked him if he had any and he didn't. So he did suggest this, which I turned it down, but it turns out I really should have chose this one. Because from where my sofa is to where my TV unit is with all my consoles, the Mega Drive wire just doesn't stretch far enough. Excuse me. So I had to think to myself, and hoping that Pete hadn't sold it yet, and thankfully he hadn't, so I picked it up, and yeah, I haven't opened it yet, it's still sealed, but I'm really excited to be using it. As you can see, you've got the USB things on there, includes the original USB port and USB receivers, and the deluxe storage case. So I'm really excited to be using that. Finally, I get to play Mega Drive games again. So on my next playthrough, which I will do as a channel video like I did in my most recent one, you guys will see what Mega Drive game that I choose. But I'm really excited to have this now. Yeah, playing Mega Drive games again. Look forward to it. Next we'll go N64. So we only bought one game for the N64 this time round. I think it was... again, it was just kind of... I didn't really know what else to buy because I was, looking at the console and then obviously the games for a Z console, it was what am I actually going to buy as well? Because there wasn't anything I yearned to get. Because normally when I go to Pete's, there's always something I know that he has that I yearn to get. Like the Mega Drive control pad was one, but like it's usually a handful of stuff that I do. So I didn't really know like what else to get, but I just wanted a bit more variety in what I picked up. So finally I picked up Star Wars Episode 1 Racer. As you can see, the box is in very good condition. Pete always has them in the plastic sleeves that I know you've seen with my games. And yeah, again, like obviously a very famous game, you know, one of the more famous racing games on the system. Some everyone loved playing. But again, it looks like it really holds up today. So I will really look forward to playing this game. The manual's intact, it looks brilliant. Obviously got the sleeve and the game, because obviously, you know, no manual, not for Samuel. So, yeah, it's also got an old virtual game sticker on the back. You guys can see from back in the day when virtual games were still a thing. But yeah, really excited. I'm gonna build up like my Mega Drive, my N64 and Super Nintendo boxes again before I order some more sleeves. Just because I want to make sure I've kind of got enough sleeves at that time, so I don't just want to buy them and then go, oh, you know, I've got it for like 4 games when I got 5, so there's just one spare, and then I buy more N64 and Super Nintendo games, and then I need another box. So yeah, really excited to have this now. Not many Star Wars games left to get for the N64 now. I think it's only Battle for Naboo and I think that's it, actually. I think it's just Battle for Naboo now. I'm not 100% sure, but okay, we'll soldier on with that. Next, we got a couple of PS1 games. Now, again, like, I was looking for Pandemonium on the PS1. Now, in one of the cabinets, Pete has a lot of, like, PS1 games where they're, like, they're kind of duplicate titles. So I remember when he had like loads of copies of the first Resident Evil, and he had loads of copies of Pandemonium. But this time round, he didn't seem to have any copies of Pandemonium, and that's what I was going for. Because, again, it's a game like I remember as a kid, but I never really played it. But it's a game that, you know, it's got quite a cult following. You know, lots of people have it in their collection. So, you know, I thought, and I really like the look of the gameplay. It looks fun. So I thought I was going to buy it, but sadly I didn't. I couldn't get it. So I started thinking about other PS1 games that I remember as a kid, and thought to myself, you know, oh, let's look at the gameplay. Let's see if I'm, you know, in tune with it. Do I like it? So the first one I bought was Colony Wars. Now, again, like, I hadn't played this as a kid, but like looking at the gameplay and everything else, obviously it looks really cool. You know, it's a like space, like flight battle game, and it looks really cool. So I had to pick it up. It's yeah, I loved like how the gameplay works as usual, because otherwise I wouldn't buy the game, right? And just looking at like reviews and stuff, everyone really kind of liked this, so it definitely had to go in my collection. Didn't realise it was 2 discs though. Didn't actually realise that when I picked it up. But yeah, we've got nice thick manual, and then we've got 2 discs. Didn't actually realise that. Normally the price will be on here, but also another thing about Pete's as well that makes it amazing is that, you know, what you'll see on the price thing is you'll normally see, like, if it's got near mint or mint like discs, it'll say it. If it doesn't have the manual, it'll say it too, which is really cool. So like that's another reason why I love going there, because normally when, like I've said before, you know, I'll go into Kex, and if I want a game, if it doesn't have the manual, then I'm not in it. Then I'm not going to waste my time taking it to the counter and get it done. Like with this, like I already know, you know, I already know through looking at the label that it doesn't have a manual, or it does have a manual. So, but yeah, you know, pretty cheap game to get as well, which is cool. But highly rated again. Something that a lot of people recommend. So let's go into my collection. And the next one is G-Police on PS1. Again, another one that I remember as a kid, didn't actually play much of it, but looking at the gameplay and stuff now, does it hold up? like, some people say it's not great, etc. But looking at the gameplay, it actually doesn't look too bad. So, and again, it's another like first-person, just 3D action shooter game, and I like that. And I think it's, again, something I'm really going to enjoy. Again, this was always, I think I did remember playing a demo of this game, but I lost like interest with it really quickly back in the day. So again, another cheap PS1 game to pick up if you're interested in buying it. Of course, it's just something that, again, another game that quite a lot of people have in their collection, and I didn't. And again, I only want games in my collection that I actually am gonna enjoy playing when I play them. So G-Police is gonna go great. I'm running out of space though, so I might have to do some jiggery pokery to get it in there. And now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it's time to find out the decision that I made. Now, funnily enough, I actually, when I was making the video, going around when I made my Dreamcast or Sega Saturn Do I Buy It video, I really kind of already knew in my head like which one I was actually going to buy. But again, like, your feedback and everything was amazing. I really appreciate all your comments, like recommending to me. So thank you to people like I can't even remember, Get Now Tar or Get Tar No. Sorry if I can't get your channel name right. I'm sorry. Thank you to you. Thank you to everyone else who commented and said which ones to get, stuff like that. Thank you very much to all you guys for your feedback. So, with that in mind, I chose to buy, I think, the one that probably stood out more for me, and that was the Sega Dreamcast. Now, I know what you're thinking. Stop for a second. It's discoloured. I know, don't worry. Okay, so, yes, it's discoloured. Now, when I first looking at it, ironically, Pete had a lot of box Saturns, Sega Saturns, which I found quite cool. But at the same time, like, I really wanted the Dreamcast first because, the list of games was much bigger and was kind of gave me the incentive to buy one. Whereas with the Saturn, it's still up in the air of like, all the games. What games do I really want for the system? So instead of just kind of going through the lists and just trying to find other games for the Saturn, I just thought, let's just go with this. Let's just do this. And so that's what I did. So I decided to get the Dreamcast. I asked Pete originally if this was the only one he had, and ironically, the first thing he said to me was, "It's shit, isn't it? It's just because it's discoloured and stuff like that." But the thing is, for me, I actually don't care about the discoloration that much. Like, it's discoloured, okay, but does it work? And that's the thing Pete said to me. It doesn't look good, but it works well, and that was the most important thing, the important phrase that he said. So he took it out for me, and he took it out of the cabinet for me, and he hooked it up to the CRT TV he's got above the counter, and he did that with my Super Nintendo that I bought as well. That's one thing I really adore, is that Pete, when you buy a console, it's not just the whole, if it gets broken, bring it back. Pete set it up for me. He put in a game, he played around with it a bit, he left it for a bit to let it go, he, showed me everything. It was just utterly amazing. So thank you, Pete, for that. It really gives you a level of assurance to know that you can see that working. So you have such a I don't know, I suppose it's just that whole feeling of knowing that it's going to be okay, it's fine. So again, like, the discoloration doesn't matter to me. At the end of the day, it's going in my collection, and if anyone that really needs to care about the discoloration now, it's me. And Pete has told me that he recommended that stuff because he did a picture comparison. He had a really yellowish Super Nintendo, and he used this stuff on it, and it completely, turned it grey, like the normal colour it should be, and it was quite cool. And but he said you can like I could get that, but it's quite expensive. Or there's this like £2 blonde hair dye you can get in this like small bottle or whatever it is for like £2, and it does exactly the same thing. So I think, and he suggested it as a video idea. So thank you, Pete, for that. I definitely am going to do that in the future. So look out for that video soon, guys. So he put Sonic Adventure in there to test it. He had a disc only, so he put it in there. And you know, another good bonus for me is he let me keep it. He said I could have it, so I now have Sonic Adventure on the Dreamcast. Disc only, but at the same time, you know, I don't mind it because it came with the Dreamcast, just like my Super Nintendo version that came with Super Mario World. You know, that's the only cart-only one that I own, but it's because it's with that set. So this is kind of exclusive to me now. So thank you, Pete, for that very much. I appreciate it. The control pad's in a bit of the same shape, but again, something I can fix. So it's really not a problem at all. Obviously, the Dreamcast memory card, I had to get one. And as you can see, it's, you know, the color that it should be. Pete showed me how it worked because, again, like I really didn't know, you know, a lot about it. So again, you know, knowledge earned from that. So thank you, Pete, again. And, you know, he showed me how it worked. He put in a new battery for me as well, which he didn't charge me for. He didn't charge me for this or the cans either. So thank you very much, Pete, for that. I really do appreciate it. That's what you do with these continued businesses. You know, you give to them so they can give back to you. That's what's important. So thank you very much for a discount as usual, Pete. Thank you very much. Thank you for showing me how this works, and thank you for helping me with the Dreamcast. I do appreciate it. So I look forward to doing that and playing it. And moving on to the games that I bought. Now, that was my only regret going on the trip, was I didn't look at my list first. So he had a wide variety of GameCube, excuse me. He had a lot of meltdown alert. Anyways, he had a lot of Dreamcast games on offer. He had some interesting exclusive things. I think he had the House of the Dead set, which, you know, I think is cool. I don't know if you need like a CRT TV for like the light gun or whatever. I'm not 100% sure. Let me know in the comments if you guys know. But yeah, he had the House of the Dead special thing, which is cool. I think he had the Samba de Amigo thing as well, which is pretty cool. But again, like, because I didn't look at my list, I couldn't 100% like work out all the games that he had that were actually on my list. So I only picked up 4 games. But again, I know they're definitely on my list, so I had to pick them up. So we'll start with the first one, and that is Millennium Soldier Expendable. Nice little kind of run and gun, like 3D shooting game. Really, again, like when I looked at gameplay for these, it always just comes down to the gameplay and the way it looks to me. So looking at this game, it's not necessarily, I'm not really a big fan of like run and gun shooters and stuff like that, but this stood out to me, so I really wanted to pick it up and play it. I'm not going to set on my Dreamcast yet. I'm probably going to I might leave that for my next playthrough, but that depends on because I'm actually still on Donkey Kong Country. Like, I started playing Call of Duty Warzone and I got really addicted to playing it, so I should have finished Donkey Kong Country by now, and I haven't. So I need to go on and do that, and then play the rest of the big heavy hitting games in my playthrough. You know, I hate it when you choose a big heavy hitting amount of games, you know, big franchises, and then it's like I started playing Warzone and now I'm just ignoring it. It's like I need to get back to it. I need to go on track. So Millennium Soldier Expendable, pretty cool. Looking forward to that. Again, like, you know, Pete said, like the cases are very, very difficult to replace and stuff, which I get, and stuff like that. But it's really cool. Like, you know, the manual's in good shape. Just overall happy with it. Yeah, I just love it. I just love like the design of the cases. Obviously a bit strange, but you know, that's what separates it. Then we've got Sword of the Berserker Guts Rage. Another nice little kind of third-person hack and slash. Again, you know, it's one of those games that it was like one of the first ones that stood out to me as kind of like not necessarily one of the most like big rememberable ones from the series, or I could be wrong, but it's definitely something that I'm really looking forward to playing. I do love like hack and slash games with swords and like stuff like that. I like hand-to-hand combat, third-person kind of stuff as well. That's pretty cool as well. So again, you know, really looking forward to this. Love it. I love that thrill. I just get that feeling now of, you know, having another console to buy for, which is great. And you know, getting these games was so fun because, again, I don't remember much of having a Dreamcast, etc. So it's really kind of good for me to have this experience. That's why I started it in the first place. Next one, we couldn't buy the Dreamcast without Code Veronica, Resident Evil Code Veronica. In my early days of buying retro games, I did buy Code Veronica X on the PS2, but just like what I mentioned in previous videos about Sonic Adventure, like only wanting to play it at its beginnings, it's the same with Resident Evil Code Veronica. You know, this originally came out here, so I'm going to do that as well. Well, I don't know what I was saying. I was gonna, you know, for this it had to be. I wanted to play it on this. So I wanted to play it at where it started. So therefore, I wanted to play it on here. Great, looks great. Apparently, it's one of the harder ones. So I'm told. I'm not 100% sure if that's what I remember, but it could be. So there's that. Again, like, you know, oh dear, I won't open the case. There we go. 2 discs. The case is in good shape. The manual's in good shape. It's a shame that they always have those numbers on the bottom and stuff like that. But at the same time, you know, that's just how people log their games and stuff back in the day. And for the last game, I went with the big one. Didn't actually notice it at first, which was quite annoying. But then I suppose that's really because I spent, you know, all that time looking, and I need my glasses to focus. But did I take my glasses? No. But then because you have to wear a mask, it just gets really steamy, and I just like lose my rag at how much I did steam up. So I got Skies of Arcadia, an RPG that I've definitely been after for a long time. Again, Skies of Arcadia Legends was on my list on the GameCube, but again, that's not where it started, so I want to go back to where it started, and that, of course, is Dreamcast. So, yes, really looking forward to playing this indeed. I think Sword of the Berserker and this are the only ones where the case, like, one of the hinge parts on the top is off, so it does this, but again, you know, that's the biggest problem with Sega Saturn and these cases, is they're very hard to replace because they're... Actually, is Sega Saturn ones hard to replace? I don't know. But like these ones are just really hard to replace because, you know, there's not... It's not like you can just get... I mean, you could like swap the case, I guess, like over like you do with PS1 games, but you'd have to get more of these, and obviously these aren't exactly cases that are like easy to get hold of, are they? So... But no, I'm hyped to play this game. Just looking at the gameplay of the GameCube version looked great, and I know, you know, this is before the GameCube, but I'm definitely psyched for this. Again, it just felt so nice to just, you know, buy different games that I've barely touched before and a complete new experience, and it was such a rush to be able to do that. And I'm really just thankful that you know, we can still get these kind of things now. You know, they're not so rare that it's just like, yeah, they're just completely out of your reach. I should have probably looked at my list to see if there are any others based on that. Like, I can't remember what other games he actually had on the Dreamcast for that. There are a lot of games that are like on other systems that, but they are just games in general that I just wouldn't buy. So next time I'll have to make sure I take a picture of my list and then to it. So I have to make sure I do that. But anyway, guys, that was it for my pickups. I hope you guys enjoyed. Again, I probably would have got more if I had remembered what was on my Dreamcast list, but sadly I didn't. Make sure you go check out all of Pete's social media, etc. I'll leave a link to all of those in the description. I'll also leave something at the end of the video for you guys to check out. I really hope you enjoyed this two-part of my 100 subscribers special. Thank you very much to everyone who subscribed, left a comment, left a like on any of my videos, gave me a shout out in their videos. Just anything. It's so nice to be part of a great community of people and just be able to have that that network of just, you know, being able to support one another in our videos, community challenges, all of that kind of thing. So thank you guys very much for that. Hopefully in the future, once COVID is over, we can all do like some sort of a, you know, a meet up or something like that, or just some, you know, even like if we all met up to go to Retro Games HQ in Swindon, you know, I think that'd be cool. But yeah, make sure you check Pete's social media stuff out. Make sure you do that, and make sure you drop him a message if you planning a visit as well. It really does show like how popular he is, because like when I was there, he had people in from Middlesbrough, and that's ages away. But weirdly enough, they were actually, I think they were going to get a car, and Pete's was ironically like in between or there or something, I can't remember. But yeah, it's like, you know, all people from all over the place come. You know, I take a train. You know, I literally left. So I got a train at 23 minutes past 9, and I got to his just under an hour later. And that's 2 trains. The train ticket is £38 nearly, but it's so worth it. Like, anytime I go anywhere, as long as I spend more than the train ticket, that's a justifiable trip. And obviously with some places, like Reading, to me is less than a £5 on the train, so obviously you can make that worth it. But the fact that, you know, because Retro Games HQ is there, that's why. So, you know, make sure you check them out. Make sure you support independent stores. And while you're there in Retro Games HQ in Swindon, if you are interested in music, or you are, you know, you're someone who's just getting into playing an instrument or anything like that, the rest of his family run the music part of the shop. So it's all in one building. So if you're into that, make sure you check out Holmes Music as well. If there's a link that I can find, I'll put it in the description as well to check them out. So if you're playing a musical instrument, or, you know, you're getting into playing a musical instrument, and, you know, they have music books and they have other things, you know, loads of different things. So if there is a link, I'll leave it in the description below for you. But other than that, that is the end of it. So I really do appreciate it, guys. Thank you very much for your support. As usual, guys, hit that like button, subscribe down below with notifications turned on for my latest videos. We are definitely going to be upping the content very soon, so look out for more interesting content. So thank you very much for watching and subscribing. Enjoy the rest of your day, whatever it is you're doing. Thank you very much again to Pete. Thank you very much. And as always, guys, take care of yourselves.